what would they have to do or say to make you not want to do business with them?
If they're negative, that would turn me off because I don't want to be around negative people. That's a biggie. That's a biggie with me.
That's a really good answer, negativity. So always seeing the not bright side.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I don't like that either. What about you, Deb?
The first thing that would turn me off is if they appeared judgmental, started making judgmental statements, or acting better than
snobby.
Yeah, looking down on other people. That is a huge thing to me.
Mm-hmm. Those are both really good ones. What about you, Stace?
I agree.
Do you have something that...
No, I think it's always best to try to give someone the benefit of the doubt. And the more they speak, it could probably get them in trouble or it could raise them up.
Right, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
For me, it's those things, plus when somebody says that they're one thing but they're not. I don't know quite how to say that. Yeah. So I'm going to give you an example. I took this online little free webinar. You can find those everywhere. And I thought, this will be good because it's exactly what I thought I needed. Right then, it was about getting clear on your message and not being afraid. Okay, so I took the webinar and I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. And one of the things that you got for free if you stayed on the whole webinar was a call from one of this woman's coaches to help you clarify your message. She said that she was giving this to people for free because it was important to her that people do that. That women get what their message is clear so that they can spread it. And I admire that very much. And I thought, wow, this is really nice. This woman's doing this. She put together this team of coaches that are going to be doing the follow-up calls. And you had to meet a certain criteria. You had to be in business for yourself. You had to blah, blah, blah. And we had to fill out these forms. And then I don't think they did them to everybody because she said if you make more than this amount of money, then you aren't a good match for us, and all those kind of things. So the lady called me and she said, "Tell me what you do." And I said, "Okay." And I told her, and she goes, "So I think you'd be a good fit."
Well, that's abrupt.
It's $10,000. And I said, "Well, I'm afraid I can't do that right now." And she goes, "Isn't there somebody you can borrow it? Some way you can get this?" And she kept going on and on about where I could get money. And I said, "You know what? You haven't even convinced me that this is the thing for me. Why on earth are you so focused on money?" And the lady that runs this thing said that it's for soulpreneurs, SOUL, so women that have something to give, and it really attracted me to it. And then she hires this ditz, this saleswoman. That's all she was a saleswoman.
That's not sales.
She was hardcore sales. She was horrible. She was a bit, what is that? Something and switch, bait and switch.
Yeah, she's not going to sell anything doing that.
No.
So that's not a salesperson.
No. And my whole point was,
I'm insulted by that.
I was,
sales
and you
my
know
whole
what?
life,
And I didn't. So anyway, here I was going into something thinking, this is really nice that this lady's doing this, and she's very pretty. That was it. She's very pretty. She calls it. I don't want to say because I don't want to hurt her.
You better not.
And she talks, very frankly to you. And then this lady, so it totally turned me off. Mm-hmm. It totally turned me off. And I wasn't going to write anything, but I did.
It got me all hyped up just you saying it.
Wasn't that terrible?
Yeah. Yes.
So some people's messages might not resonate with you, and in turn, you might not think that they're attractive. And they might not be physically attractive, but the way that they present themselves and their ideas and how they make you feel. Maria Angelou summed it up. People will never remember what you said. This is not an exact quote. Never remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
And sometimes beauty can be found just in that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like cuddled up on the couch with your dog or your cat. So comfy. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Deb.
I had the similar experience with the salesperson. They called me, and it could have been on the same, I don't know, it could have been on the same program. And there was a man that called me up and said, well, what do you mean you don't want to present this X amount of money? I said, well, I can't afford that. Well, I think you can. If you want to see it, you'll believe it, you can afford it. And continued on. I said, this has got to stop.
Yeah, and that's what this lady said, too. You're worth investing in yourself. Yes. And I said, but why would I invest it with you? Exactly. I said, you have not convinced me that this is the way for me to go.
Yeah.
There's payment plans, she said.
Yeah.
Oh.
We may have been on a similar road trip.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So that was so note to people that are in that kind of business, if you present yourself one way and make it sound attractive, and then you come across another way, that just totally erased everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll never listen to anything that she has to say again.
But you know what? If she would have reworded that, she could have probably gotten the sale, but her wording was off.
Right, her presentation wasn't full.
It was,
to see where you were at first.
Right. But why didn't she do what they said they were going to do first? If she would have gotten me crystal clear on what I was going to do, and then I wanted to take it to the next step, maybe I would have found a way to do it.
Exactly. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Instead of saying, you have no way. There's got to be somebody that you can borrow it from. What about your parents? I said, they're dead.
Don't challenge me.
Right.
Yeah. That was a challenge.
And finally I said, you know what? There's no way I would ever work with you. No way. So I'm just wasting your time at this point, and hung up. And that's kind of what you feel like when you meet somebody that is really physically attractive, and then they spout out like they're judgmental, like you said, Deb, or they're mean, or they're negative. It's like they're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And life is too short to be around people like that. So
somebody we know acts like that, and you know who I mean, Deb.
And you know what? And beauty fades.
And she was a pretty girl, but she no longer is in our eyes. Yeah.
And physical beauty fades.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you can always be beautiful, but our definition of in this country is youth is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And yet some of the most beautiful people I've ever known have been old people with deep eyes, you know. When you look into those eyes and you see so much love and truth.
Like Sandy and I.
Yeah, exactly. That's who I was talking about.
Yeah. And Stacy.
Yeah.
She's still too young.
Being a
though.
Yeah, she doesn't
you're
count.
New at
She's
the
still
grandma
too young.
thing, but you know what being
Well,
a
I've
grandma
had
is.
7 grandchildren for a while.
Well, that's
but,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Stevie, I'm the only grandma on this side that he knows.
Stevie's
So
pretty precious.
yes,
I mean, I love Stevie, and I don't even know him.
it's impossible.
It is impossible.
So yeah. So we have here at the beautiful Devolution, we have some things coming up, and what I want to talk about now is I'd like to talk about the Devolution project for a little bit, because we don't hardly ever talk about that. And it's something that it's quarterly, and we've been a little lax, quarterly, that we do for ourselves and for our communities.
We going to do the makeup thing?
I keep trying to get in. Did you make your phone calls?
I did.
We'll have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we'll have to talk about it. So our first quarter, we had the food drive for the Good Samaritan, and then we actually served Easter dinner. And Deb, this was your second year in doing it.
Right.
How does it make you feel serving that Easter dinner?
It's like a self-fulfilling thing. You're giving back, and you need to give back. I need to give back. Other people don't have to if they don't want to, but it's important.
It's good for the heart.
Yeah, it is. It is
good for your soul.
Yep.
And in my coaching, so often people are so into their own heads, and the poor me kind of thing, that it's one of the first things that I suggest that they do is go volunteer somewhere.
Yep.
And you get this feeling of, I don't know, it's of helping somebody. I don't care if it's at the animal shelter.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people in the holidays, they get tied up, or they even talk about other people who are tied up in the commercialism of the holidays. But if you're serving dinner to the homeless on Easter Sunday, you're not tied up on the commercialism.
It just wipes it all away.
It's just giving.
And you feel good all day.
Yeah.
I mean, you just feel warm inside all day, and those people are so happy and that you're there. It's very pleasant. And Sandy, you do so much for us at that time too. You wrap all those boxes and take them around. Yes,
because I spend Easter with my immediate family,
right.
And that's pretty much been a tradition. But what I like to do is get the food gathered and get it prepped for you guys to go in and do the dinner.
Right, and
So,
we couldn't do it without you doing that part.
Everybody
So
has their own little job.
right,
Yeah.
right,
They do.
And I must admit that is one of my favorite things to do.
That's the first thing I say when I talk about the Devolution Project. I tell them about Easter dinner at the rescue mission.
And Mitzi's in the house. Yay!
Almost got away with me.
Well, yeah, really. So that's what the Devolution Project's all about. And we have our meetings at, where else? At Vino Wine Warehouse, located at 511 East Midland Street, on the first Wednesday of every month. And that is half off wines. So it's got a bunch of things going for it. It's a gathering of divas. We talk about doing something good for ourselves and our community, and we make plans to do something. So it's really good. We helped at the shelter house. The Devolution Project helped at the shelter house.
Yes, we did, and we loved it.
And
we
we
made
had
good
fun.
friends and
We
everything.
did.
Yep.
Mitzi just walked in. Mitzi Zanotti Brown. I met your godson.
I only have two, so you must know Zach or Charlie.
Zach.
Zach, yeah.
Very cute. He's very cute. So we're going to be meeting on the first Wednesday in August, which is August 2nd at Vino, 511 East Midland Street in downtown. We usually get there about 6 o'clock, and we stay. We just have fun. We talk about the Devolution Project, but then we just stay and talk about
That's
whatever
only a
we
short
need to
bit
talk
of it,
about.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's one of my favorite nights. Dino's at Vino's.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
Divas
fun.
Night Out.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Now,
good.
we missed this month because of the 4th of July, but
Right.
August 2nd, we're ready to go.
Right. That's right. And it'll be good. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 26th, is a wine and wash here. And that's the girls from Monate that sell this really good shampoo. There's different systems for your hair. Like if you have a certain problem with your hair, then you should use this system, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to know more about it, and I'm telling you, they have women that are raving about this shampoo.
I like it.
And they're saying...
I use it too.
And what has it done to you? Have you used it
You
yet?
using it?
My hair's
You
not
should
so
come
flat.
tomorrow night.
My hair's not
I
so
noticed a difference in it.
Yeah.
Are you using the volumizing one?
flat. Yes.
And what are you using that one
Volume.
too?
Yep.
Huh?
I noticed it
Makes
on
a
Deb,
difference.
And then I got the volumizing, and I'm noticing on me because my hair will go flat,
Yes.
but it's been staying poofier.
It is.
It is. I noticed tonight when you walked in,
used
but
it
I
2
didn't
weeks.
think it was because of the shampoo.
It is because of the shampoo.
I thought you were in a wind tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I